Okay, hello everyone once again. So today we're going to talk about how we can add and subtract rational expressions. Last time we talked about how we can find the LCD. And once again, many of you submitted the homework assignment and asked me questions. So I really appreciate you guys doing that. Okay, so let's go ahead and first do a quick warm-up of finding the LCD. Okay, so 4x and 10x squared. So once again, let's look at the numbers first. What's the least common denominator of 4 and 10? Once again, it's not always going to be 4 times 10. So in this case, it will not be 40, okay, because that once again, that's not going to be the least. In this case, the least is going to be 20. And then x and x squared. In this case, it's just x squared. Okay, to double check, we can see if we can multiply 4x by something to get 20x squared. And the answer is yes, we can times by 5x. Here it's times 2. Okay, so there it is. Okay, x and x squared minus 6x. So let's always see if we can factor any of these. X is just always x, but this we can factor times x is x minus 6. So then what's my LCD? Well, I have to have an x, and then I have to have an x minus 6 as well. And once again, I don't need x squared because that's no longer going to be the least common denominator. And then to double check, here I can just do times 1. Here I do times x minus 6. And then I'm ready to go. All right, and then the last one for LCD. Once again, let's first see if we can factor. And here I can do x plus 4x minus 4. Here I need two numbers that add up to 2 and multiply to negative 8. So there we go. LCD, okay, I need an x plus 4. I need an x minus 4 as well. Okay, I've got an x plus 4 again, but I already have one down here, so I'm good with that one. But I need an x minus 2. And then let's double check. Here I need to multiply by x minus 2 to get to my LCD. Here I need to multiply by x minus 4. All right, and there it is. Okay, once again, the LCD should be something that we can always multiply to, right? So once again, you want to think multiplication. Okay, and which is why we always do the double checking at the end to see if we can multiply from what we started with to the LCD. Okay, so the reason why we spent a whole lesson on finding the LCD is so that it can help us when we do adding and subtracting, okay, which is what we're going to do next. Okay, like I said, this is actually going to be more complicated than doing multiply and divide because when you add and subtract, you always want to find LCD first, right? Just like what we saw last time when we did adding and subtracting with just regular numbers, like 2/3 plus 4/5. We can't just add up the 2 and 4 and 3 plus 5. We have to find an LCD first. Okay, so same thing over here. Let's look at the first one. Okay, so here's my denominator, a plus 5 and a plus 5. Okay, so that's pretty nice because we already have the same denominator. Okay, in this case, what's the LCD of a plus 5 and a plus 5? Well, that's just a plus 5. Okay, so then if I have the same denominator, what I can do is I can actually just combine the top, combine the numerators, and then it becomes all over a plus 5. Right, same thing as if we were doing it with regular numbers. Okay, and now what I can do is I can combine like terms on top. 2a minus 3a over here and here, that's negative a. And then over here, plus 7, minus 4 plus 11. And then it's all over a plus 5. Okay, and then once we're at this step, we are good to go. We've simplified from 2 fractions into 1 fraction. Okay, which is how we can add or how we're going to add and subtract rational expressions. All right, let's look at the next one. Again, this is very convenient because I already have the same denominator, which is going to be AW, because they have the same denominator here and here. Okay, but you do want to watch out when we're adding and when we're subtracting, especially. Okay, so what I'm going to do is if you're subtracting, let's always make sure you put parentheses here. Okay, now you might be asking, why did I not do it before for the one, we just did? Okay, and the answer is you can do it as well, okay? But then when you're adding, it doesn't really matter, okay? Because from here to here, you can just take out the parentheses, okay? But when you're subtracting, it's not so simple, okay? So I'm gonna add the parentheses in over 8w, and then what's gonna happen is, okay, w minus 4, but then here I have to distribute my negative sign. So that's minus 3w, but then it's plus 9, okay, over 8w. And now I can combine like terms. So w minus 3w, negative 2w, and then minus 4 plus 9 is plus 5, all over 8w. Okay, and now once again, once you're left with one fraction, that's what you want, and we're good to go there. All right, a couple more. Okay, here we don't have the same denominator, so then first step is find the LCD. Okay, so here's 4 and x. Again, LCD means you're looking at the denominators. Okay, so don't worry about what's on top. Just look at the bottom and then find the LCD. 4 and x, in this case is 4x. Okay, and now just like when you're adding and subtracting with regular numbers, okay, the goal is to get to the LCD. Okay, so for the first term, x plus 1 over 4, how can I go, or in other words, what do I need to multiply by to get to 4x? Well, I need to have x over x, right? So same thing, but here we're not multiplying numbers, we're multiplying with a variable, so x over x. And then let's look at on this side, what do I need to multiply x by to get to 4x? Well, that's going to be 4 over 4. Okay, so again, the idea is the same, but with variables, it might be tricky at first because we're not used to working with variables when you add and subtract. Okay, so now that we have that, let's go ahead and keep going. All right, over here, so here we're multiplying by x. And again, when you're multiplying, make sure you distribute, right? So again, it might be helpful if you put a parentheses up here so that we really know that we're distributing. So that's x squared plus x. Same thing over here, distribute. 4x minus 8. Okay, and since we're adding, we can just go ahead and put everything under one denominator. That's over 4x. And then combine like terms, that's x squared plus 5x minus 8 all over 4x. Okay, once again, once you end up with one fraction and it's simplified, that's how you know that we're ready to go. All right, 4m and 6m squared. Again, I'm looking at the denominators because I want to first find the LCD. Okay, so what's that going to be? 4 and 6, that's 12. M and m squared is m squared. All right, and then let's look at the subtraction part. Again, I want everything under 12m squared this time because that's my LCD. Okay, so how can we go from 4m to 12m squared? I need to multiply by a 3m over 3m, which will give me 9m on top, so that one's not too bad. Here I'm multiplying by, again, I'm put the parentheses just to help us, 2 over 2, because 6m squared times 2 will give me 12m squared. And then on top I need to distribute, so that's 2m plus 2. And then again, when you're subtracting, it's especially important that we have the parentheses over 12m squared. And then let's go ahead and distribute this negative out. So that's 9m minus 2m minus 2 over 12m squared. Simplify a little bit more. That's 7m minus 2 over 12m squared. All right, and again, I'm left with one fraction, and there's nothing else to be simplified. Okay, so as you can see, when you're adding and subtracting, there are a lot more steps than when you multiply and divide. Okay, again, first things first, always find the LCD first. Okay, and then just like what you do, so all the steps are the same as what you would do with regular numbers, but of course with variables, it's slightly more trickier. Okay, so let's go ahead and do one last one just to get some practice, and we will do more of this next time as well. So I will make another video next time on adding and subtracting, just so that we can really, get some practice. Because like I said, this is more complicated than multiply and divide. Okay, so k plus 4, k minus 3. Again, those you want to think of as separate terms. So my LCD is just going to be k plus 4 times k minus 3. All right, so then let's go ahead and put that over here. So I know I'm going to have k plus 4 over k times k minus 3 for both of these. And you can actually just leave it like this. You don't have to multiply this out. Okay, it's actually much easier to just leave it like that in factored form. So on this side, I need to multiply by k plus 4 over k plus 4. And then I need to distribute the 5. So 5k plus 20. And then on this side, I need to multiply by k minus 3 over k minus 3. And again, here we're distributing the k. So that's going to be k squared minus 3k. Again, if we have subtraction, I'm going to put the parentheses just so that we don't forget to distribute the negative. Plus 20 over k plus 4, k minus 3. Okay, and here comes the distributing. Let me go down here. So k squared minus 3k minus 5k minus 20. And then k plus 4, k minus 3. And then one last step, combine like terms. K squared minus 8k minus 20. K plus 4, k minus 3 on the bottom. Okay, and then again, for our purpose, we're just going to stop once we reach one fraction and everything's simplified. There's no longer any like terms, and we're good to go there. All right, so again, so that's how we can add and subtract with the rational expressions. Again, exactly the same steps as doing it with regular numbers, but of course, it's more complicated because we have variables. Okay, but again, first things first, we have to know how to find the LCD before we can add and subtract. Okay, which is why we spend so much time over the last couple of days knowing how to find the LCD. All right, so please make sure you're taking notes, and then of course try the homework. And then as always, please let us know if you have any questions. Again, we will do more of this next time as well. I'll make another video on adding and subtracting just to make sure you guys are good to go. And other than that, thanks for watching.